Hi, I'm Von Thorpe, and today is Social Media Day. And we're extremely excited and grateful that you are joining us here for our very first episode of Esirom's Impact webinar. And we'll be discussing turning your online presence into real results from post to profit. First and foremost, I must apologize on behalf of the team for the delay, and we are really grateful for your patience and for joining us and tuning in. Now, joining live on the set is the director of Esirom, Mr. Alex Morrissey. He's the brainchild behind it all, and he's here to, elucidate and highlight all the things that you need to know as it relates to the digital platforms that we'll be using as it relates to pushing our businesses and products and services. Right, Mr. Morrissey?
Yeah, man.
So how you feel about this first webinar?
Well, I feel better now that the audio is working and that people can hear what we're talking about.
Right.
So yeah, we're back on track. It's great that we're able to do this. We were discussing earlier that we do so many productions for our
Right.
clients, but sometimes we forget to do things for ourselves. So this is our first step to kind of showcase that this is what we can do, this is what we do. Not just the production side of things, but we want to share knowledge. So Esirom is a decade this year, big
10 years.
milestone for the company. So we're like, we need to teach people what we've learned over the years.
And that's good because knowledge is power.
Absolutely.
And we appreciate that. Now, whether you're a small business owner or content creator, marketer, or just starting out in the digital space, this webinar is designed to equip you with practical tools and insights that can help you grow, scale, and monetize, of course. We need to monetize. Monetize your social media platforms effectively. And as the topic said, from post to profit. And throughout today's session, you'll hear from the experts in the field like Mr. Morrissey and get a behind the scenes look at how successful brands and individuals are using social media to drive engagement and generate income. We have packed a lot in today's lineup, so please stay with us, take notes, ask questions, and most of all, be open to learning and exploring new ideas. So let's kick things off with 3 top social media mistakes business owners make when it comes to social media.
Here are the top 3 mistakes that business owners make on social media. Mistake number 1, not having a clear content focus. Who is your demographic? What is the objective of the post? What do you want users to do after they've seen this post? Mistake number 2, focusing only on likes and followers when we should be looking at other types of metrics, such as awareness, reach, and lead conversion, because vanity metrics don't pay the bills. Mistake number 3, not understanding your audience insights. By this we mean your top content by views, shares, reach, awareness, understanding who your audience is. Sometimes the person that walks in your story is not the same person who follows you on your social platforms. So you really need to understand how your content is performing and who it's reaching so that you can make changes for the following month. So most SMEs are active but ineffective. So let's work on changing that.
All right, so Mr. Mercy, let's talk about the third point.
Sure.
For the sake of the listeners, why is it important not to ignore your IG insights?
Well, not just IG, but
Okay.
the insights in general, right?
Okay.
We use Instagram as an example because it's easy to look at the insight. You can just go on your page and see it. It just gives you a summary.
Okay.
But that would be like an entry level into insights. And it's important not to ignore it because it tells you how your posts are doing and how persons are engaging with that content.
Mhm.
So if you don't know the results of what you're posting, then how can you do better the next time? Or how do you know what to tweak
Right.
for your customers?
So how often should you check, your
Well,
insights and
you don't want to become obsessed, right?
yeah,
You don't
because we want
want,
to get it right.
yeah, but you don't want to be checking every second, right? Once a week is fine, or
Okay.
even for some businesses or some persons, once a month is fine. What we do here is when the month ends, we do a monthly report for our
Okay.
clients so that they can see their overall performance for the whole month and which posts have done better
Mhm.
because there's organic
Right.
and then there's paid.
Paid, right.
So the insights show you the breakdown of both,
Hmm.
and you can use that data to make informed decisions how to do better the following month.
Yeah, because everybody want to be seen, but it is important you need to be felt. Yeah, and thank you so much for that, because you I know a lot of persons might be like, I'm gonna check like every single hour, every single second, but there's a technique to it and
Yeah.
you have to be patient as well as you know.
Yeah. Also, for some businesses or individuals, right? You might think that your page is targeting the right customer
Mhm.
because you assume that those customers are following you. But sometimes you realize that it's a different demographic that is actually on your page, and then you can say, how can I tweak my message to the
Right.
people that are actually following me and not who I want to follow or think are following me?
Boy, beautiful. Thank you so much for that insight. Um, what I want to, say is that a lot of times we have our products and services, but we really want everybody to know about it, but it's just the how. And I'm glad that you are telling us how. All right, so we'll now go straight into having one of our success stories being highlighted, and we have Jamaica Mountain Peak, which is a household name. But like many companies, they were struggling to get results from social media. We'll hear from Miss Karine Tullo from Salada Foods Jamaica Limited. So let's hear what she has to say.
Hi everyone, I'm Karine Tullo, the Marketing Executive at Salada Foods Jamaica Limited. Today, I'm excited to take you through my digital journey, where I started, what changed, and most importantly, what actually worked for the Jamaica Mountain Peak brand. Let's be real. Posting content is easy. Making it work, that's the real challenge. Where I started in 2020, no strategy, just vibes. I was new to social media marketing, working with a much smaller business. We were posting on Instagram without structure, just vibes and Canva. No defined audience, no consistent messaging. When engagement was low, it felt discouraging, especially in real estate marketing, where even good content wasn't bringing people through the door. What I realized, strategy matters. Messaging matters. The right tools matter too. The shift from likes to insights, everything changed when I started using the tool Hootsuite. I began to understand why things were working or not working. I started our audience online. What tone resonates? Are we speaking to the right people? Shift from vanity matrix to real insights was a game changer. Real growth, real results. At Salada Foods, with the use of our brand Jamaica Mountain Peak, we took these early lessons and flipped the script. No more chasing virality. Instead, we built a genuine connection. We focused on consistent content that felt authentically Jamaican. And here's what happened. From January to May, views increased from 110,000 to 711,000, a 545% increase. Reach tripled from 60,000 to 182,000. Not just more views, but more of the right people. What made the difference, you might ask? Messaging. We got intentional. We asked, what do we want people to feel, know, and to do? Learning from others. We looked beyond Jamaica. We studied more global brands and asked, what are they doing? Also, knowing our audience. We tapped into cultural truth. For instance, a post about Jamaica Mountain Peak ginger tea over a pill. Someone in a meeting said, I loved that post. It was so relatable. Caribbean people always drink tea when something goes wrong. Anything happen to you? What them always say, drink tea. That simple insight showed that being relatable wins. So let's go into tips for marketers and small businesses. Whether you're just starting or already experienced, start messy, but keep learning and improving. Use the tools, Canva, Hootsuite, even YouTube tutorials. Analyze the data. Metrics aren't just a show, they tell a story. Talk to your audience, not at them. From pretty posts to profitable content, with the right approach, your content can do more than just exist. It can drive real growth. At Salada, we ensure the brand Jamaica Mountain Peak move beyond nice visuals so that we can build real connection, real engagement, real results. If we can do it, you can do it too.
Oh boy, just to hear that, I appreciate her authenticity,
Yes.
because most times, you wish people will just share, their experience so that you can learn, and because everybody need a piece of the pie, and in marketing, everybody have a share. Right? So, thank you so much, Karine, for sharing your story, and I wish you all the best in your endeavors. Now, for those joining us live, we have a segment that you are going to love. This is where we'll be giving away some prizes, and we are looking for the best answer. If you're successful, you will win, of course, a prize. And you have to answer directly to the chat, in the chat below, where we'll select and email the winner. Here are the questions. Are you ready? I'm ready. The first question is, what's the number one question you should ask before posting on social media? Very interesting question. So type it in the chat. And the next question is, which metric tells you how many people saw your post? Yeah? Mr. Morrissey, you want to tell them?
No, but what I will tell them is if you're having difficulties typing your answer, it means you don't subscribe to Esirom. So subscribe, wait about 60 seconds, and then you'll be able to respond. So don't comment and say you can't give an answer if you don't subscribe.
So for those listening, remember, subscribe. And the questions are, what's the number one question you should ask before posting on social media? And the next question is, which metric tells you how many new people saw your post? All right? So type it in the chat. Let's see who will enter the correct answer first. All right? Thank you so much for participating, and we wish you all the best. Remember, we'll be looking out for your answers, and we'll be emailing you with the details. All right, so Mr. Morrissey, it's nice that we are hearing a success story. You're providing insights on the mistakes business owners make. But now we have to know through to 3 easy steps on Instagram Insights. And guess what? You're the one who's going to be talking about it.
Of
So,
course.
so please stick and stay and listen.
If you've been following us on Instagram, you've already seen our quick walkthrough on setting up your professional dashboard and unlocking insights. So we're skipping the setup today and jumping straight into how to actually use it. Let's break it down into 3 super simple steps. Step 1. Shift from posting to testing. Most people treat social media like a bulletin board, post it and hope it sticks, but the moment you start treating your posts like tests, everything changes. Try this. Post the same message as a graphic one day and as a reel another day. Try 2 different captions for the same product and see which one gets more saves or clicks. You're not just guessing anymore, you're comparing what works side by side. This is called A/B testing, and it's something the smartest marketers do all the time. You don't need fancy tools, just post with purpose and compare the results. Step 2. Focus on 3 key metrics. Now once you're inside, you'll see a lot of numbers. Don't get overwhelmed. You only need to focus on 3 things. A. Engagement. This is what people do when they see your content. Do they like it, comment, share it, but most importantly, do they save it? Saves are a secret weapon. They mean the post was valuable enough to come back to. B. Reach. This is how many unique people saw your post. If you're trying to grow your audience, this number tells you if your content is being discovered. If it's low, maybe it was too niche or didn't catch attention. C. Profile actions. This is the money section, literally. This tells you, did somebody click your link? Did they message you? Did they tap directions or visit your website? These are your conversion metrics, signs that people are ready to take the next step. Step 3. Use what you learn to improve your next 3 posts. Now that you've seen the numbers, here's what to do with them. Ask yourself, what topic, format, or style got the most engagement? What time of day worked best? What didn't perform and why? Then apply those lessons to your next 3 posts. If Reels got more profile visits than images, post more Reels. If educational posts got saved, do a part 2. If something flopped, tweak it or try a different format. You're building a blueprint, content backed by actual proof. The most successful brands on social media aren't posting randomly. They're posting intentionally. Oh. The most successful brands on social media aren't posting randomly. They're posting intentionally. And they're not guessing, they're learning and improving with every post. So stop flying blind. Your audience is already telling you what they want. Your job is to listen, learn, and give them more of it.
Right, thank you so much, Mr. Morrissey. Boy, 3 easy steps, like 1, 2, 3. And we are now opening this part of the webinar for you now, our listeners, our viewers, so that you can ask your questions and we provide the answers as best as possible. I have Mr. Morrissey beside me, so you don't have to worry, right? Don't have to worry. We will provide the answers. So type in the chat and we'll answer them as quickly as possible.
We're here, we're waiting, watching live. So ask the questions. This is your opportunity because people always complain they can't get me on the phone. So
really?
Yeah, so this is the time.
But so while we wait for these questions to come in the chat and for us to answer, when you get those calls and messages, what is the most common question? Yep. Heard.
Okay, I'll give you 2. One, it's more of a comment than a question. So people say, oh, but Instagram and Facebook is free for me to sign up. So what do we have to pay a company to do? Or why do I have to pay Instagram and Facebook to boost my posts?
Mm.
So I think if you've used social media for a long time, right? When social media just kind of kicked, then you would see that there's a difference between the results that you got 10 years ago and
Mhm.
now. Organic reach was, you had 1,000 followers and you made a post, 1,000 people saw it. But at the end of the day, the social media companies, they need to make money too.
Yes.
And it's very expensive to run these platforms. You think about servers and the data.
Mhm.
So,
Research too.
exactly.
Right.
So, in order for people to see your posts now, you have to pay, right? Whether it is in the form of paying a small content creator to help you,
Mhm.
or even somebody in your company, or even an agency like us.
Mhm.
One, you're paying for the strategy and the content, and the second thing you're paying for is you're paying the platform to
Mhm.
show your content to the people that you want them to see.
And as the adage always say, it takes cash to care. So if you care that much, you need to put, the money or as much as you can, make as much investment as possible to get the results that you need. So from post to profit.
We have a
Any
first
question?
question? Yes.
Yes. Okay.
So
All right. So the
you
first
can.
question: what is your key target audience demographic? That is from Lip Gloss Girl
I
JA.
wonder if that's one of the answers to one of the
I think
questions.
that's
I see this one here from
what's the ballpark for social media management services? Okay. What's the ballpark for social media management services?
who asked that question?
Read Staycations
Okay.
JA.
Just to let them know that this is actually live. So I wouldn't say there's a ballpark necessarily. We have different packages, right? As a company, but it really depends on what the needs of your company. 'Cause
Okay.
we're a digital agency, so we can do anything you want.
Mhm.
If you have a store and you want us to do a launch or to do all of the artwork, so it goes beyond social media because we're a digital agency. But let's just say ballpark. At the lowest possible tier, 1,000 US,
Mhm.
right? It sounds high, it sounds expensive, but think about what you're getting, right?
Okay.
You get a team. You don't have to have your own marketing team because you have us.
Yes.
We are an extension of your team. And if you need us to do videos, photos, social media, whatever it is, we can do it all in house.
Mhm.
If you only need us to do a strategy, that's all you need us for. And if you have somebody that you can execute that strategy, no problem. So we are very flexible because not every business is the same.
Right. And it saves you internally, as a business to take up, all these responsibilities when you can just, get someone that can put a special attention, on what you want to, you know, receive or what you want to achieve. Now, she also asked, how do you make the algorithm boost your content? That's a very interesting
So
question.
yes, this is one we
Yeah.
get all the time. Like, what's the algorithm like now?
Yeah.
How what can I do to improve it? Um, so I'll tell you the most honest answer I can.
Mm-hmm.
We don't work at Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, Meta, TikTok. We don't really know. So you can make educated guesses, but what I can tell you that Meta, because as an agency, we have a Meta advisor, right? So because we're working with so many brands,
Okay.
we have somebody at Facebook that we can call anytime.
Anytime.
Anytime. They can tell us based on the brands that we manage, what we're doing right or wrong and guide us. Not necessarily right or wrong by marketing standards,
Oh.
but by their platform standards. And just one basic rule that everybody can follow, every single feature that a platform has, use it. That's what they want you to use. You want
Oh.
to get better organic reach, which is only going to be a little bit, and you want to get on the explore page, you want to rank higher than your competitors, use all the features. there's story posts on Instagram, there's live, there's Q&A, there's so many features. They want you to use them all.
Yeah, because I think you know, you would have just use like, oh, just post a news feed in a news feed, and
Yes.
that's it. You should
Not,
get enough reach.
not that simple. So use all the features and you will definitely don't overkill now. Don't go live every
Don't-
day. Because as you can see, going live is not easy, right?
Yeah.
So, but do at least one thing a week, you know?
Okay. And be consistent.
Be consistent. That's important. And also, another thing to note is posting every day is not a great strategy unless your business requires you to post every day. If you have a special in store every single day, then go ahead and post every day. But if you have a brand and there's not much activity, then it's okay to post once a week and to boost that piece of content. It just needs to be quality content.
Okay, great. Now, for a startup company, what's the best way to build your social media platform? I know you touched on a number of things, but I guess for this person, you know, you could answer them directly as well for this question.
The best way is one to start. A lot of times people wait. They're like waiting for the perfect moment or the perfect piece of content to start.
Boy,
Listen, nobody
perfect.
cares, right? We care because it's our page, but when you think about how a user uses the platform, right? You're on their timeline. They have to go to your profile to see what it looks like. So the first thing you need to do is actually make a post, have a great caption, and ensure that the piece of content is engaging so people can go to your profile and then follow for more.
Beautiful. Now, I'm seeing Tara Shakir saying hashtags are necessary.
Hashtags. Okay.
What's the sweet spot? How many times a week to post? Or you said, you know, at least once, you know, per week, and be consistent. Are still graphics still effective?
Okay. So let's start with the hashtags.
Yes.
Hashtags allow your content to be found, right? As a general rule of thumb, 3 to 6 hashtags you can use. There are certain platforms you don't need to use hashtags on. Like I've never used a hashtag on Facebook, but that doesn't mean you can't.
Okay.
But another effective of hashtags is to organize your content. So if you're a business that posts a lot and you want to categorize your content, use a hashtag. So for example, we're gonna say Esirom impact, right? And if you click on that hashtag, it's gonna show you everything Esirom impact.
Right.
It's a good way to filter the content because as of now, we don't have any way to filter the content on these pages. So hashtags are not as effective as they used to be. In terms of you can post a hashtag and then all of a sudden you get a lot of likes on that piece of content.
It's just by chance, like you think, because I love to use hashtags, you know.
You can use hashtags.
I love to use up my words.
But whether or not it's going to drive people to that post or the business, I mean, unless people are searching for that hashtag, my point.
Interesting.
And the second one was?
Oh, the second one was how many times a week to post? Are still graphics still effective?
Okay. How many times a week to post? Depends on the business. International standard, meaning international businesses, let's say Red, right? Global, right? They may only post 4 times. As same for like other big brands. You'll notice that they don't post as much as we do in Jamaica. They just create really, really exceptional content and boost it. Right? That's kind of a sweet spot. You don't want to overkill. I always tell people that as a business or a brand, you want to seamlessly integrate into your customers' feed. Right? You want to be a part of their lives. You don't want to take it over. You want them to have a reason to follow you. So you have to think from that perspective. If you wouldn't even follow your own page, why would you expect other people? Trust me, there are people.
Oh.
And are still graphics still effective? Yeah. to an extent. You need to boost it.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna see it.
And boosting takes money, right?
Boosting takes money. A minimum of $1, right?
Okay.
So it's affordable,
Mm-hmm.
but keep in mind that there are a lot of other businesses. Everybody's boosting. You have to spend a little more if you want more people to see it because it's competitive.
Yes, it's very competitive, and I'm
Yeah.
realizing that it's all about strategy and intention, you know.
Yes.
So I'm realizing that it's not a easy task,
No,
but
it's not.
it will become easier when you're, you know, applying, you know, all the principles and all the you know, observing all the standards that you need to be aware of. Now, I'm seeing Kalia asking tips on engaging content for a business making its own content internally.
So, tips on a business making its own content internally.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about storytelling, right? So, you have to tell the story of your business or your brand or your products. That's what's going to get people excited and energized about the content that you're creating. It doesn't have to be, you know, from a camera. Use your phone. Use a good phone. So
Good.
that,
Oh, I was about to say, like, on your
right.
phone.
Use a good phone.
Uh-huh.
You know, I don't care if people are going to say use a Apple, use what you have, right?
Right.
You have a Samsung, use a Samsung. It doesn't matter. Start that way. Tell the story. You know, don't follow trends. Set your own trend.
Wow. Yeah. Don't follow trends. Set your own trend. It's first I'm hearing that one. Honestly.
We tell our
Right.
clients, and they're like, "What? Tomorrow is International something day. Let's do something." And I'm like, "You missed the point. Come on, create your own day. Create your own trend."
And that's how you set yourself apart and differentiate your product and services and your
Yes.
entity and your company.
Yeah.
You know, because what people don't understand is that yes, we have, it's just like, you know, shops and bars. We have a lot of bars on the road and shops and churches.
Of course.
You know, but what sets you apart is that unique selling point. Like what makes your brand, what makes your product
Yeah,
different.
maybe you're open late. Maybe you're open 24/7. So, for example, if you open 24/7 or you're open on a public holiday, talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
Don't necessarily talk about a public holiday celebrating. What does that mean to your customers? You're closed, you're
Mm-hmm.
open. Focus on those points, and more people will engage with you because you're actually communicating information that they want to know.
And I know some people might be watching and say, but no, Mr. Mercy, I see this shake it to the max trend and all these things, and we want to be a part of that as well. But what do you have to say about that? Because I know for sure you have been seeing the shake it to the max
Yeah, man.
trend going around.
Of course. I would say if you're going to do something, put your own spin on it. Don't just follow someone else. Don't
Mhm,
copy someone else. Just
mhm.
put your own spin on it. Um, and you'll be surprised, but also remember these trends, they're very
Short,
short-lived.
yes.
So you want
What
to
I'm
kind
realizing.
of just, you're either going to do it tomorrow or you're not going to do it. Because when you see it, that's when it's trending. You know, that means it's already old news.
Boy, boy, I wish I could be here all day, all night to ask more questions, and because I'm learning as we talk and you know explore the different issues, concerns, and these were the questions that we had tonight, and we are so grateful that you participated, and I hope that you are more aware and you know refreshed if you're hearing it again. And we just want to know that winning on social media is about working smarter, not harder, as you realize. Using clear goals and data to guide your efforts and grow your business. Mr. Mercy, you are right. You know, I'm realizing that we need to avoid some traps and some mistake. You know, avoid making mistakes and learn from them as well if you make the mistake. So, you know, what do you have to say about creating content and, you know, as we wrap up?
Creating content, it's, you have to learn to do, just like any other skill. Um, just start doing it small scale, doing it yourself. Then when you're able to get somebody to help you, the content will improve. but just don't be afraid to start.
Don't be
That's the
afraid.
mistake people always make. They're too they want to make it perfect.
Yes.
And I mean, if anybody saw, like, we posted a reel, I think yesterday, and it has a little Q&A,
Right.
with me and some of the questions that watch that video, and I'll tell you that it's never going to be perfect. It's only perfect when you put it out there and you move on to something else. You'll
Wow.
spend forever perfecting it, and then nobody will ever see it.
Beautiful. Boy. And I must thank you for, sharing that thought. And as a thank you for registering and joining us today, you are all entered to win a free marketing audit plus 1 year of Canva Pro. Yes, everybody. All out, right? Just for joining. And we'll be announcing the winner via email soon, so be sure to watch your inbox closely. We'll send all the details on how to claim your prize directly to you. Right? You'll get it. Trust me. If you want to revisit any of today's info, we'll be sending a replay link to your email. So look out for that as well. And on behalf of Esirom Impact team, right? Without the team,
Team, people don't know how many people right now making sure.
And a team can be 2 or a team can be 3. But I must make them up. And Mr. Alex Mercy, thank you so much. And Kareen, thank you for sharing your story. Thank you all for watching. Now, let's turn our posts into
profits.
See you in the next episode of Esirom Impact webinar. Thank you. And when we thought it was all over, no, we had to, rejoin because we want to answer this question and we want to, ensure that everyone everyone will learn from this experience. And this question we had to ask and to also let you know, Mr. Mercy, the emphasis on keywords.
Yeah.
What do you have to say? Trishology or Trishol? Well, that's Trishology. Asked that question. She wanted to know what do you have to say about the emphasis on keywords?
On keywords.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, first of all, this is the first time that we've ever ended and come back live.
Right.
So we didn't stop the stream. But yes, we definitely want to answer everybody's questions. So keywords, as it relates to captions, I would say you just need to have great captions. Depending on your business, people will find your content. What I will say is that Instagram in particular, Facebook as well, it's becoming more of like a search engine. TikTok, people use TikTok, but you type something in TikTok, it shows you. It's like Google but for videos, you know, similar to
Okay.
like a YouTube, but their engine when it comes to keywords is very, very good. Instagram is getting there, so keywords can be picked up now also from your images. So it's in yes,
Like, oh,
because these platforms can read AI. That's where we are.
oh Lord.
They can read your posts, right? So you have to keep in
See.
mind the fonts that you're using, because if you use a more complicated font, it might be harder for it to read. So keeping it, you know, clean and simple, it can pick up on that. But people usually talk about keywords more on websites. That's kind of how it started off, and you have to have the best keywords on a page to get people to your website. So it's a similar
But it has
process.
changed now. You're saying that it has. It's
Websites are still valuable and important.
Oh.
It's just that people are searching differently. They're searching social media, so they may like look up your business before they go to Google. It depends on who you are and how you use, you know, platforms, of course. So ensuring that you fill out all aspects of the profile. Remember, we spoke about using all the tools.
Yes.
They also want you to fill out every single part of the profile. So when you go into your settings and you click edit, make sure that you have the business name separate from your username.
Okay.
You have your address, you have your phone numbers. All of that is readable text.
Boy.
Yeah.
When you think it's just to establish a page, you know, and
It's
just
not
put out,
just
product
no.
and put out graphic.
Yeah, it's just like when you go to the doctor's office and you fill out a form and you miss some field and they tell you to go back and write it in. The search engine wants all your information, of course, for their own means as well as to help you. So fill it out.
I hope that, you know,
Yeah.
helped out Trish All or Trishology.
It's
Boy,
Trishology.
Trishology. I'm seeing OLOG here, but no why. I don't know why. But thank you so much, Trish, for sharing that question. And I'm sure, you know, this will help you out a lot as you market your business and your products and services. So thank you so much. I think we have reached the end.
Yeah, man, we're gone for real this time.
We're gone for real? You sure? Sure. All right. Thank you so much again. And as you heard, you can email us, you can call, and look out for more webinars where you learn even more and get better and grow and monetize, of course. So thank you again. See you next time.